Good afternoon. My name is Roman, and today I would like to talk with you about the innovative budget control system. I'd like to start by saying a few words about the reasons that prompt the creation of this system. Let's remember history. The modern world has changed since the creation of the first computer. High-speed computations, terabyte databases, remote control from anywhere in the world. All this has become an integral part of our lives. Nowadays, nobody will be surprised with a phone with the operation system and the memory capacity which is bigger than the memory capacity that a desktop computer had 8 years ago. Global progress has led to serious changes in the technologies and requirement to information system from users, both from real users and corporate. And now there are two important directions. Large-scale data level processing, so-called big data, and development of products causing an emotional response from customers, so-called wow effect and hidden motivation. Today we don't touch the first direction as it is not the topic of our presentation. Let's talk about the emotional part. The emotional part has become the engine of the IT industry. Design, user-friendly interface, simplicity of settings, and simplicity of operation. Sometimes all this is more important than the technical component of the product. And the success of well-known company from Cupertino confirms this thesis. You may ask, how does it relate to the corporate budget system? The most direct way. With the help of design and properly chosen scheme of interface with users, the system is able to influence either the emotional satisfaction about product which affects the productivity or motivation. It is necessary to give a simple, convenient and above all function control mechanisms to users of this system. Users should see the general scheme of budgeting and see their role in it. All users of the system has to see who influence the budgeting and who hamper it. And SAP offers two solutions in the management of budgets. They are STS and workflow. Their capital failure is that users cannot see the entire agreement scheme in a convenient form for them. Moreover, users do not see themselves in complex and multi-step process of companies' budgeting forming. In its turn, STS does not allow to create a complicated budget scheme. Workflow is more advanced system, but an enhancement of its functional require intimate knowledge of internal process and significant ABAP programmers resources. Based on the above, we can see a lack of flexible and convenient budget control system with simple settings. Let's see how these issues are solved by our system. Let's go to SAP. At the beginning you must run the appropriate transaction. Menu appears on the screen. It is divided into two parts. And there is a list of points to move to the appropriate budget scheme. There may be any number of budget schemes, but in our example we have two: profit and loss budget and balance of payments. The second part contains a list of items to access the administrative settings, which include access to the form of loading control of actual data for profit and loss budget, and access to the form of budget version control. Mind you that the system has asserted settings, and displaying of menu items depends on the roles assigned to the user. For convenience, there is always the element of scaling on the screen. Let's move to profit and loss budget. In user press, firstly, you need to select some filters. Horizon, plane here, and version. There will be a complete scheme of budgeting on the screen. I would like to tell you more about what we see. Let's start from the end. The purpose of the reflected processes is to collect the master budget. In order to collect this budget, it is necessary to collect and to agree operated budgets. To do this, you need to recalculate the primary expenditure in the model sap.romang. To do this, you need to collect and to agree functional budgets and summary estimates and upload them to the model CO. Finally, to do this, we need to collect and to agree estimates for general expenses, estimates for other profit and loss, estimates, and operated budgets entry form. In turn, as the first stage, some parts of the budget may have some subordinate budgets. They must be also collect and agree. We can see it on the example of operated budget of assets. This scheme has about 20 budgets, each of which must be processed by multiple users in a clear sequence. In fact, there may be hundreds of budgets in real. At the same time, in the collection of such a large number of budgets, you need to synchronize the work of several hundred users. It is clear that without such a control system, the process may turn into chaos. Let's examine in detail each element of the scheme. This rectangle represents any budget or entry form. In what follows, when I say budget, I mean such as concepts like estimate, input form, operated budget, or functional budget. Budgets are grouped according to certain principles. Groups are reflected on the diagram in the form of panels. And panels can expand for convenience. Budget has a status that is reflected in the form of color. And color legend of statuses user can see with the help of button legend. As we can see, the budget can have the following statuses: waiting previous budgets, budget in planning mode, budget in agreement mode, budget is ready, and budget has been rejected. And default color highlights those budgets which the users can influence directly or indirectly. This status of the other budgets are hidden. And to see them, the user can press the button Show All Status. With the help of button activities, the user can learn what budgets must be processed in a given time. In the current example, we can see that the user must handle 2 general cost estimates. And the button settings is used for switching to a control panel. There are different parameters on the control panel. For ordinary users, this is checkbox show statistics. This checkbox is used for opening a window with the general statuses of the budget agreement. The budget administrator, there are various version controls such as planning period control, budget company starting control, email broadcasting control, and so on. Every budget has a number of parameters such as list of meeting, cost center, financial accounting center, connection with other budget, and so on. To access the parameters on the budget, you have to put the cursor on it and press the left mouse button. And there will be a window with additional information on the screen. What do we see? On the button agreement, we see the steps of agreement and the users' names involved into the agreement. The system provides the right to perform the action of users in a strict sequence. That is, firstly, the user must complete the first step before the system will allow another user to perform the second step. Each user can designate an alternate. In this example, a user with surname 2 is an alternate of the user with surname 3. Inside the step, multiple users can work in parallel. And there is detailed information on the budget and budget parameters in the tab description. In the tab history, we can see information about all users' actions with the selected budget. In the tab connections, there is dependent budget with all budget before and after. Dependencies can be shown on the general scheme by clicking on the Show Connections. There can be any number of links. As we can see in this example, there is a connection after with 3 budgets. It means that the planned amount of the current budget will be reflected in the budgets in connection after. Let's consider the sequence of users' actions when the budget entering. Now we are logged in as a user with surname 3. This user is responsible for entering plain data in the communication department estimate. Let's open the budget form. To do this, we choose a budget and click the button Start Report. Form opens in Microsoft Excel. It is divided into 2 parts. The first part contains information about selected parameters such as budget quota, planning horizon, and version. The second part contains a list of articles in the context of which it is necessary to conduct planning. Let's enter the amount and save it. And save. Okay, data was saved. After the inputting, the user is returned to the budget management system. Now user can press the button Data is ready. At this point, the form is blocked from entering and the system sends email to the next participant of the process of agreement. Going into the history, now we can see the date and time of produced action. As we can see, the status of the budget has changed, the color has changed. Now let's log in the system as the user surname 4. Choose filter. At this point, the user has the opportunity to agree the budget. There is also an opportunity to open the form with button Start Report. Cells available for inputting are marked with white, but there is no white cells, and the data cannot be changed. The task is to verify and accept or reject the budget. Let's reject the budget. At the same time, the user is given the opportunity to write a comment. And this comment and information on the rejection comes to all users in the previous steps in the form of email messaging. Further, the question about the changing the budget is solved outside system. If the budget is to be changed, then the user surname 4 on the step 2 should press unlock. In so doing, the budget is compiled into the planning status, and the user with surname 3 has the right to change the data. And open history once more. We can see that all actions taken with the form and comments are reflected in the history. Now let's agree the budget completely and look at the result. So, we see that the budget is completely agreed. The color of the budget turns green. Amounts from this budget are aggregated into the functional budget of general expenses. Therefore, the user with surname 3 sees the status of this budget, although he is not involved in its agreement. And this budget has a colored progress bar showing the readiness of subordinate budgets. As soon as all subordinate budgets are ready, budget goes into the status of the agreement. Only then the system will provide an opportunity to perform the operations to users who is responsible for approving this budget. In general, the example shows entire budgeting system operating. In addition, marks that the system is originally designed with the possibility of using it in conjunction with the planning system sap.IP. It has mechanisms for the formation of user roles and mechanisms for the management planning data slices. Besides the standard management mechanisms, it is provided the enhancement of functionality with the help of Z functions, programming language ABAP 4. The mechanisms for loading, uploading, planning data to the model sub-CO are implemented using this enhancement. As for the settings and the administration, everything is quite simple. To configure the system, it is used only one Excel file. There is an example of such file on the screen. There are common settings of budget schemes on the sheet 1, like budget code, budget name, budget type, panel, description, and horizon, connection after, profit center, user steps, and operation. So there are settings panels on the top panel. And there are color settings and status items on the top status. There are configuration of user operations on the tab operations. The system provides a setup program for loading the file. System administrator only has to download the file and with the help of handy interface create or synchronize version of budgetary scheme. Well, the description of the system is complete, and in the end I want to summarize. The system provides a convenient user-friendly interface for the user, allowing him to see the whole scheme of the collection budgets and their role in this process. Provides automatic synchronization of users in the collection of budgets. Provide a displaying of stages of budgeting. Provides a display status of budgets. Provides administration of budget statuses. Provide a displaying of working budget in relation to a particular user. Provides a notification of the budget and process rows email messages. Provides a flexible and easy configuration using one Excel file. At the end, I want to tell about the architecture of the budget control system. Technically, the system consists of 4 layers. Let's consider each of them in detail. The first layer, displaying layer. The layer is implemented using technology Flex. This layer provides the displaying of the basic elements of interface. An example of basic elements is represented on the next screen. Here we see canvas E, label E, scale E, button C, pop-up button E, panel E, element E, connector, line, text area E, and checkbox. The second layer, Subflex integration layer. It is implemented on the basis of WebDyn Pro using the programming language ABAP 4. It provides an interaction of flex and sap, which is used to simplify the management layer. The third layer, management layer, each represents two groups of functions implemented in the programming language above 4. This layer provides the display logic of the basic elements on the screen and the logic of events handles. For example, on the next slide is shown the program text. The element button E is displayed by means of this program. The same principles works for other basic elements. The third layer. This layer is designed to expand the functionality of the budget control system. Enhancement is implemented as set functions of a certain standard. The mechanism for loading, uploading, planning data model are implemented using such enhancement. Using this layer, the mechanism for integration between SAP BI and SAP SEO were implemented. The using of layers with a single input and output points allows quite flexible solutions. The practice has shown that this approach is very successful for the enhancement of the functionality. In particular, elements of the system were not only used in budgeting but also for other business tasks. Thank you for attention.